Hello, hello, hello. Is this thing on? Welcome to the channel, welcome to the channel, welcome to the channel. Once again, live on Saturday night is Bose 831 Gaming, live on Twitch. Welcome Twitch on Saturday night. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day, evening, or whatever time it is in your neck of the woods or in your. We're happy to have you aboard again tonight. And once again, this is a continuation of my Twitch live stream series on Farming Simulator 22. We're on the ELM Creek farm, and this is a continuation of my Twitch live stream series. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. We're going to jump right in somewhat from where we left off on the last episode. We were in the process of doing maintenance on our fields, and we had also discussed that we were going to place two more greenhouses in our little greenhouse area. So we'll go ahead and get started on that first, and that was over in our second greenhouse area. Guess I should have drove over there first, but we're just going to hop right into it once we kind of fly over here. And again, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Like I always say, I can't have a successful series without you. So I appreciate you for what you do. And always, stay tuned in and keep watching. Keep liking, keep commenting, keep subscribing, and we'll continue to grow and learn together. Alright, so here we are. We're on production. We want to go to greenhouses, and this time we are looking for the modded greenhouses, but I'm looking for a particular mod. The greenhouse that I want to install here is the ones that the fruit greenhouse mod, which is this one. And these greenhouses are for grapes and olives. And what we want to do, we want to go ahead and get these placed. And I try to get them lined up by sight as best that I can. It's a little tricky because I can't get like the exact placement that I want because the way the controls are, it just kind of slightly jumps this way or that way, as you can see. So I kind of have to eyeball it, and I don't want them too close. I do want to spread out just a little bit, so I think that's about a good spot right about there. Whoops. Right about there. And we want to do two of these as well, similar to how we have the grape greenhouses, but again, kind of spread out and spaced a little bit so we can have room to get our service vehicles in to drop off and supply our supplies and pick up supplies, even though I'm going to have these distribute to our logistics warehouse just like we are doing with the grapes. Okay, so we got those down, so let's go to the game menu and we can now automatically jump over there. Where am I? Just lost my... Okay, so let's just go ahead and let's see if I can get it right. Here we go. And let's jump over to these greenhouses that I just placed. And we want to set the production on these. If you can go to select manage production point. And we have greenhouses, two greenhouses already that are set for grape production. But these two we want to set for olive production. So we're going to go ahead and set that now. As you can see from the production chain menu, the inputs for these greenhouses are water, seeds, grape, solid fertilizer, herbicide, and seeds. We already have the water where it will be automatically distributed by the modded distribution water tank. That water tank will distribute water to any production chain facility that requires water on the map. But one other thing that we're going to go ahead and do, because these greenhouses also require a constant supply of herbicide, so what I want to do in this area is I'm going to go ahead and also place another mod down here, and we want to go back into our menu, except this time we're going to go under silos, and I have a set of modded underground silos that I have installed, and I'll have to reference back to the mod makers bit because I didn't write that down, but I'll go back and reference that here in a little bit and get that information to you for those who might want to look up and install the same mods. But all the mods that we use in the game are all available on the mod hub because I'm a console player, so everything that we have access to you can also find as a console player in the in-game mod hub or on the Giants software mod hub on the Giants website for Farming Simulator 22. But these are the mods I'm looking at right here. Is the universal underfloor bulk storage systems, and I don't want to do this. The small one has a capacity of 100,000. The medium one also says it has a capacity of 100,000, but that's a typo. That should be 500,000, I believe. But we'll double check that right in just a second here. This is the one we want to install, but we don't want the fruit one. We want the liquid one. So we want to keep going over, and then we're looking at this one. The underfloor storage for bulk materials or liquids, and we want the medium size of that one, so to make sure we have the right size. Except I don't want the one that has the grate. I want the one that has the pipes that appear on the surface. So we want this version right here, but the medium size of it. So that's liquid. Make sure. Okay, why are there? 10 million. All right, so make sure we got the right size here. It's 50,000. Okay, I don't know quite what the difference with these are, because I don't want the one that. I want the one that's 1,000,000 liters. Wait a minute, why is 1,000,000 liters 90,000 and 1,000,000 liters 130? That's 10 million is cheaper than the. I don't know why one's cheaper than the other one. Oh, one can store one liquid at a time, and one can store multiples, and then they have. Okay, I'm trying to see what the differences between each one is. Oh, okay, so you have one type that can only store one liquid at a time, and one that can store multiple liquids at a time. Alright, so I want the one that can store one liquid at a time. So we'll do the 1,000,000 liter one, I think. Let's see. 100,000. So yeah, because you get 1,000,000, 100,000, you'll either get 100,000, 1,000,000, or 10 million. So we'll do the 100,000 one, but the single liquid one. I'm trying to play this a little realistic at least. Alright, so we want this one, and I want to kind of space that out a little bit as well, so we can have room to get our service vehicles in this area. Alright, and let's turn that around because I believe the light shines on this side, so we want it facing this way, and we're just gonna kind of place that in here as well. I just want to again have it spaced out away from the greenhouses, so we have enough space to bring our service vehicles in here without too much trouble. Alright, so we got those down. So next up, we want to do a little bit of landscaping here. So I want to go to painting, and we're looking for the asphalt texture. Oops, wrong one. The dirt texture is what we want to do right now. I may come back, and if I have a change of heart, and come back and paint it all with the asphalt color, but right now we're just keeping it looking the dirt texture for right now. I probably will come back and resurface everything once I fully kitted this area out exactly the way I want to have it done. Um, all right, so we're going to store herbicide here. Water will be automatically distributed. The only other thing I might want to look at is these also take inputs of seeds and solid fertilizer, but we have silos for that already on the farm. But for convenience, I could locate some additional silos for seeds and fertilizers in this area as well. But we'll all see how tedious it becomes for me to transport materials to these greenhouses to keep them supplied, and that may influence whether or not I place additional silos out in this area as well, or just supply these from the silos on the main farm. But for right now, we won't place any silos yet. We still obviously gonna have to flesh this area out a little bit more and kind of landscape it and clean it up a little bit, and hopefully we'll have time to do that. Which brings me to another point or topic on this series, as we're kind of rapidly approaching the end of this series. Because as I indicated in last week's episode, I think what I want to do is go ahead and wrap this series up, and we'll bring it to its end right around the time that the Platinum expansion for Farming Simulator releases. That will be releasing on November the 15th of this year. And I've been doing some calculations, and that gives us roughly about 9 more episodes on ELM Creek before we get to our episode that will coincide with the release of the Platinum expansion. Because if we go in by what I've looked at on the calendar, my last episode for this ELM Creek series will be on November the 12th of this year, and the Platinum expansion releases on November the 15th, and then my next episode after the Platinum expansion release will be on Wednesday, November the 16th, and we'll just do a fresh start on a new farm on that series, and we'll be experiencing all the content with that new expansion together, starting on November the 16th episode. So that should be great, really interesting and really fun and really different. Looking forward to that, because the Platinum expansion is heavily focused on forestry, a lot of new tools, a lot of new equipment, all surrounding the forestry industry. So we're definitely going to have some interesting episodes getting to that, and we would definitely be learning a lot together on that, especially with the new pieces of equipment that will be introduced into the game, as well as the new brands and everything else. But in the interest of time, we really want to get moving on this series too, because I wanted to try to get as much done between now and these next 9 episodes, because one of the goals I did want to get to before we ended this series is I want to make sure we get to the point where our horses are able to give birth, so you can kind of see that process as well. That we have to advance almost another game year before we can get to the point where the horses will be ready to give birth to new baby horses. So there's that. Alright, so right now we're gonna go grab some herbicide. We're gonna go to the shop. We're gonna purchase some containers of herbicide, and then we're gonna transport that herbicide over to my olive greenhouses, because that's one of the ingredients that we need. So let's go to the shop, and we're going to purchase a few pallets of herbicide. Let's see how many we need here. All right. And we're not going to make one of the mistakes we did last week where we loaded up liquid fertilizer thinking it was herbicide. We're not going to do that number this week. I'm going to buy one. Let's see. So let's go ahead and load those up. Get my tanker trailer in position. We're going to load up some herbicide, and then we're going to transport that over to our greenhouses. And then we'll also go ahead and get all our seeds and our solid fertilizer and get our greenhouses supplied and get our olive production going. I don't recall if I have this. Right now I have this tanker set to the unrealistic storage capacity. Looks like I have it set to the unrealistic instead of realistic. I'm not. We'll find out here in just a few. I think each of the greenhouses will hold 100,000 liters of herbicide. So just to speed this process up, what I'm probably going to do is we're going to go ahead and have back over to the greenhouse area. Place down a anything silo, and we'll just do that whole process from there, and then we'll speed up the whole process of supplying the greenhouses and getting them operational. But I just wanted to show you, at least go through it one time, what the whole process would be from going to the store and loading up the materials that you need and transporting them to the greenhouses, what that looks like. Some other things on this series and get into all of these different aspects of the game. I just want to go ahead and kind of speed that process up. So what we're going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go back to our menu here, and I'm going to look for the containers, and we're going to look for the the multi-fruit buying station mod, which is by 82 Studios, and we're going to place that down here as well, and we're going to jump back out and get back in our semi, and we're going to load up, max it all the way out with herbicide. And we're only going to do this for herbicide because we have water distribution, and we have water tankers, and we have a water production point where we can get water from on the main farm, and the water is automatically distributed. We're only doing this for herbicide. We also have a solid fertilizer production chain, and we'll get our solid fertilizer from our production. And we're just going to fill both of these greenhouse silos up with herbicide. And then any surplus we'll place in the underground storage silo. Alright, so let's fill up one more time with another load of herbicide. And then after we get the greenhouses in order, then we'll take a look at our animals production chains and then get things moving, because there's really a lot that we need to get through and a lot that we need to get accomplished if we want to get to the point where we have the horses reproduce. We're going to have to speed things up and really get moving and get into some different months, because we still have to rotate through almost another game year before we can get to the point where the horses reproduce. And we do want to kind of jump through that. But one of the other things I've been running into is I've been still kind of a little bit confused about how precision farming, the precision farming DLC works, because I'm getting some inconsistent results with precision farming here and there, and I don't know how to process that. But we'll get into that in just a few as well. Alright, so all of our overflow herbicide, we're going to put that in the silo here on the farm. And let's see, how many liters do we have in there? We may just go ahead and load this silo up close to its fill limit, or right at its fill limit. So we'll go ahead and do that now. And then in the future we can just pull herbicide out of this underground silo and use that to supply our greenhouses. So we get another full load of herbicide. Still set at the unrealistic capacity. That's why we have a load of 182,000 liters. But that's okay for what we're doing right now, because we're just trying to load up the underground silo, and this speeds up the process greatly. We don't have to make that as selected the wrong product there, digestate. So we'll drop off digestate into the BGA, and then we'll be right back. Alright, well this is what we're going to do, because I don't want to waste time driving halfway across the map, so we'll do it this way. I'm going to have to place a sell point down over here as well. Because once again I pressed the wrong button, and that was not what I was intending to do. So let's go to production, selling points. And we're looking for a sell everything mod, and we'll just place one down here temporarily. Great. And let's sell the digestate that we accidentally purchased. Alright, now let's go back here, and we want herbicide. Thank you very much. And again, what we're trying to do here is we want to go ahead and fill the underground silo up to capacity, and then from that point on, we can pull herbicide from the underground silo and use that to supply the greenhouses. And we'll have to drive across the map, and we'll have to purchase in bulk big containers of herbicide, because we'll just get it from off the farm. Okay, that's good. And then we'll get another load, start herbicide, make sure we have the right product selected. And we're at 528,000, so we're about halfway through. Slowly but surely we're getting there. And could you imagine if I had to make trips to the shop and we were doing this all back and forth from the shop, how many trips I would have to make to fill these silos up? So definitely doing it this way is a big time saver. Want to check where we're at 710,000, so almost there. About another 300,000 and we'll be good to go. And then we'll go grab our seeds and our solid fertilizer. $892,000, almost there. Alright, looks like we got it. That's 1,000,000 liters of herbicide. So we still have 74,000 liters in the truck, and we'll sell that back to the Buy Anything silo. Because I made 159,000 off of that, plus another 14,000. So that's 159, 160, $174,000. And that's profit that I shouldn't be making per se. So what I'm gonna do to cancel that money out of my account is I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna lease a vehicle that has a very high lease total, and what I want to do is lease something that will, let's see, and find something that will cost me a certain amount of money. Let's see, so if I lease this vehicle, it would cost me 24,000. So I need to subtract 74,000 2468. Yeah. So if I lease 3 of these, that'll get me close to it. 2, 4, 2, 4, 6, 3. That'd be 60,000, and then I need another. I'm just kind of rounding way up, but another $10,000 lease. So we'll do 1, 2. Oh, what's that? Yeah. I did 1 lease and 1 purchase. Alright. Man, I'm bad tonight. Arg. But I can get the full refund on the full purchase price if I return it to the shop immediately after purchase. But let me make sure. Okay. $78 is the most expensive one. $428. So 1 more lease. Yes. Okay, and then 1 more lease. Just all over the place. And so then we want to go return those leases. So I want to go back to that menu. Return. And that should get me back to where I need to be financially, other than selling this tractor that I also accidentally purchased. Alright, so now we're back to where we should be, or at least close to it. Alright, so next thing we want to do is get rid of these silos. So we're going to get rid of return the buy anything silo, and return the buying station. And then we want to do some quick landscaping, painting, and we want the dirt texture. And just kind of clean that up. Alright, and then we'll be ready to go. So next up, we want to go grab some seeds and solid fertilizer and load our greenhouses up with as much of those products as we can as well. But we have productions for both of those on the farm, so we won't have to do any shenanigans in order to get those products to our greenhouses, because we have production for water and for our solid fertilizer. We don't have a seed production though. Tanker trailer. We temporarily don't have a use for it, but I am going to have a use for it in a moment, because we will need to transport some more digestate to our solid fertilizer production chain here in just a bit as well. For right now, we want our tanker, our tipper trailer. Grab that, catch that, and now we're going to go to our seed silo and grab as much seeds as we can carry. Start filling seeds. And we know that the greenhouses have a capacity of 100,000, so we're going to go ahead and buy another load of seeds and continue loading the truck up with additional seeds. And we're going to load the truck up to its max capacity. So let's grab and purchase another load of seeds. And fill the truck up one more time. Alright, almost there. And purchase another load of seeds. Hop back in. And start filling until the truck is maxed out. At its max capacity of 82,000 liters. And we'll take a load of seeds over to our greenhouses. And now that we have multiple greenhouse productions going, this is going to be our daily routine, as we're going to supply our greenhouses every day, or at least the production in each of the greenhouses to continue, whatever that may be. But in this case, since I'm running modded greenhouses in both locations, there will be seeds, fertilizer, and in the case of the other greenhouses that I have, manure. And these greenhouses over here in this area take herbicide instead of manure. Alright, so let's take a peek. And you see they have 82,000 liters of seeds. We still need about 24,000 more liters in this greenhouse, and then we have to have another 100,000 for the other greenhouse. So we still got a little bit to go here, so we got a few more trips to make. It's pretty much the same deal because we have a seed silo on the farm. We're going to do it from here now, but another production chain I may look into adding on the farm as soon as possible is some type of seed production facility as well. It's the same deal. We're going to fill the truck up to its max capacity of 82,000 liters, and then we'll transport the seeds over to the greenhouse, and then we'll do a similar process with our solid fertilizer. So here we go. We have another load of seeds, and we're going to transport the seeds over to our olive greenhouses. Alright, we've arrived, and we're going to dump seeds at our first greenhouse. And that one's filled to capacity, 100,000 liters of seed. And we'll do the same at the second greenhouse. Alright, so we're going to head back to the main farm. We're going to pick up at least one, maybe two more loads of seeds. And that should take care of our seed requirement for the second greenhouse once we do that. We're going to start filling seeds. Purchase some more seeds and start filling. Okay. And do a refill silo. Purchase some more seeds. Start filling. And one more time. Refill silo. Buy. Purchase more seed. We'll refill. Greenhouse. Whoa, holy fender benders, Batman. Didn't see that one coming. Well, in real life, there would have been a serious accident. The AI vehicles don't sense when vehicles are in front of them and don't stop and brake realistically as well. And plus they're like super tanks. Alright, so we have another load of seeds. And that gets us maxed out. So we're done with the seeds. Next up is solid fertilizer. seed off in the seed silo back at the main farm. Alrighty. Well, that presents an issue that I did not anticipate. Alright. Got 42,000 liters of seed that I cannot get rid of unless I sell it back to... Yikes. Alright. Alright, so we're gonna have to do something a little cheaty again. Maybe this time I can handle it a little bit better. Ugh. Challenges, challenges, challenges. I don't want to do it this way, but I'm going to have to. Alright, so come back over this area. We're going to place the sell anything silo again. Excuse me, to buy anything sell one again. Alrighty. Several everything mod. Yeah, we'll just keep one here just in case we run into any silly issues again before I finish tonight. Alright. So and this time I won't try to cancel out the money that I make from selling the seeds back, because I did need to purchase them, so it's technically not cheating. It's just like I went to the shop and sold some product back, and seeds can be sold on the market in the game, so that's, I don't consider that a cheat. Alright, so now next on the agenda is we need to go grab some solid fertilizer. Have a solid fertilizer production chain, and we also have a silo for solid fertilizer on the farm. So we're going to first grab everything we can from our farm silo for solid fertilizer. While we're on the topic of if selling the seeds back was a cheat, the other thing you got to factor into that as well is you're selling the seeds, you know, back to the market at whatever the current market price is. You know, and that could be a good price, that could be a bad price, depending on when is the best time of the year to sell seeds and what prices are on the market at the time that you sell them back. We're filling up on the solid fertilizer, and this tank obviously has a higher capacity than the seed silo, so we should have quite a bit of solid fertilizer from this silo this time. So 56,000 liters, and that's everything that we have on the farm. So go ahead and unload that, and then we'll make a stop at the production to see what we have in there. And whatever we max out at for both of those points, that's what we'll start off working with. And we'll have to produce anything else that we want to use to get these productions going. Alright. So we drop off that load, 56,000 liters. And the next stop is our solid fertilizer production chain. There you see, that's what we tentatively call Beehive Valley. Yeah, went a little crazy with the placement of the beehives, just to kind of a little bit of an experiment to see if placing numerous beehives has that much of an impact on honey production. So we got another 63,000 liters of solid fertilizer from our production. And that's everything that we have on the farm right now. And what I'm going to do, just to kind of have an even split, so we can greenhouses have enough solid fertilizer in them so that they can start producing even if they're not maxed out. That should be enough to get them started, and then I can come back and max them out later on once we produce more solid fertilizer. And let's take a peek at our production chains menu to see how we're doing. In the one greenhouse, we have 56,000 liters, and in the other, 63,000 liters. Productions are turned on, so we should be producing olives now. And we'll go ahead and get rid of the sell anything sell point. And we need to do some quick landscaping. So we're going to go painting, look for the dirt texture, and go ahead and paint some dirt. Boom, boom, boom. We're done there. And I got a couple of quick things I want to do as far as our productions are concerned, and then we'll focus on the farms. And like I said, we need to get these days moving and get rolling a lot more quickly on these processes, especially with only roughly about 9 episodes to go. Switch back out from my dump trailer to my tanker trailer, because we need to move some liquids right now. So I'm going to go back to the tanker trailer. now we're going to quickly move around some slurry and digestate. So next stop is my slurry storage point. And do start filling. Select slurry. Fill up on slurry and then move that over to the mini BGA. And here we want to unload the slurry that we just loaded. And that should go straight into our production chain for digestate. And the max storage for this silo is 75,000, so we max that out. Make sure we have silage production turned on, because we got a little silage in here as well. Any excess slurry that we have, we can put that right back into the underground tank here. And since we're over here, we'll go ahead and unload what the animals have produced and put that in the underground tank as well. Same thing for the pigs that we did for the cows. So we're going to unload slurry in the underground slurry tank. And finally, we're going to go grab as much digestate as we can from the BGA. And then we'll take that digestate to our solid fertilizer production chain. And that, folks, that's how we get more solid fertilizer. Now might be a good time to go ahead and take a quick screenshot, so we'll go ahead and get that set up now. Let's go down to the menu and hide our little tool tip for a second, and this looks like a great shot right here. Go ahead and capture that one, and then bring a menu back up. Good stuff. Alright, so we're loaded up with all the digest state that the VGA has produced right now. We can go ahead and take that over to our production digest state to solid fertilizer production chain. And one other thing, like I said, I was thinking about what I would look at into doing. We probably won't do it tonight, but we'll go ahead and work on getting a seed production place somewhere on the map, so that we're pretty much a 100% self-sufficient farm, and everything that we use, for the most part, we are producing as well. At least that's our goal. We want to have a fully self-sufficient farm, operational farm. Alright, so let's drop off our digest state and make sure we have this production set right. Silage is, okay, that's about to be exhausted. Solid fertilizer production is turned on. 44,000 liters of digestate is not going to get us that much, but each 1,000 liters gives us 250 solid fertilizer, so it's still something. Alright, now we're ready to do our farm work. We need to get that moving as quickly as possible. It took way more time on some of the other activities than I wanted to tonight. We need to get those things done and out of the way. But now we're going to get to the point that I was talking about earlier about issues I've been having with precision farming, and how I'm being a little bit confused with the way things are working out in some scenarios as far as precision farming is concerned. Because if I go and look in the menus under precision farming, and I have the filter set to show what the situation should be on the fields, the filters are showing me one thing. Like here, if we look at the soil information, not the soil information, well, the pH, the green pH numbers kind of show you all the fields that are technically you're supposed to be in good shape as far as lime is concerned, and you can see just about every field shows in the green. The darker greens are usually supposed to mean that it's better conditions, but the more yellow you get, the poorer or the worse the conditions are. So those all could stand a little improvement, because you want to be in the darker greens. When you start getting in the blues and the higher, that's kind of really like overages. You don't want to do that. You want to kind of keep it right in that perfect green zone. And the same thing for the nitrogen, which is the solid fertilizer. And this field, like I was telling you, field 40 has been bugging out from day one. I don't know why, but it never shows consistently. Right now it's showing me that I'm all in the yellow as far as my nitrogen levels. You can see this field right here has these, but I don't even have a crop on that, so I don't even know why that's doing all of that. But 50 is showing in the orange, which is supposed to be not good, as well as the combined fields of 47 and 48. 55 and 54 are okay. 50 is great. 41 is great. 39, 36, and 37 haven't started growing yet, but they all show that they're in good shape. But I see one thing from that menu. Then when you go to the actual field, and then if you go to the field and look at the precision farming field info, it shows something a little bit different, because here it's saying the pH value is bad, while from this menu, if you go back to pH, it's showing in the yellow. So that's bad is typically supposed to be in the reds, but we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put down solid fertilizer on the fields that will let me put it down. But actually we wanted to start with lime first, didn't we? So I kind of did that backwards. But for this field, we're gonna go ahead and put solid fertilizer down because precision farming is supposed to automatically adjust the output levels of your spreaders based on the needs of the field, and it does that automatically. And if it senses that the field doesn't need any more fertilizer or lime, the spreader won't even function. But it adjusts how much lime or fertilizer it uses or spreads in each pass based on the needs of the field, and that's done dynamically. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do that now. And I don't remember if this tractor has a crop sensor on it or not, but if it has the ability, so let's go to the shop and check that real quick before I do anything else. So let's go and see how the configuration of this tractor is. I thought I did purchase the crop sensor equipment for it, but while we're here, we'll go ahead and repair our equipment as well. We're going to customize, not that, the tractor. So it does have the crop sensor on it. Okay, just wanted to make sure. Alright, so before we do anything else here, we will, actually we could come back to that. So what we'll do is we'll unload our solid fertilizer here, and we'll come back to that. Let's first of all make sure all our fields have the right lime on them, and then we'll come back and do solid fertilizers, and then we'll advance today because we should have everything we need so we can move on and work on letting our crops grow so that we can do our harvest and everything else. So let's get a load of lime. Okay, and let's check out the fields that need lime. Excuse me. And according to the pH information here, it looks like the fields that would lead lime are 40, 55, and 41 and 4. Where's 41? 41 and 42 look good, but it's just really confusing because even like fields 45 and 46. So we'll just go to each field and kind of turn it on, and if it spreads, then the field needed lime. If it doesn't, then it didn't. Let's say definitely 40 is just all over the place, so let's turn it on and see what it does. So, all right. So we're spreading here. It's allowing me to spread lime here, so this field must have still needed some lime. So it's just really confusing, the mixed information that you get. Now, I'm not totally a fan of this aspect of precision farming, but definitely a fan of the aspect of some of the different gameplay elements that precision farming does add to the game. But some elements of it do seem still a bit buggy, or if they're not buggy, they're not clearly explained how they operate in conjunction with each other. Because right now I'm still kind of puzzled. It seems like the best way to really, I'm looking at the order, the process of planning with precision farming is to looks like do your planting before you do your fertilizer or your lime applications, maybe. All right. So the game allowed me to put lime on that field, so that field must have still needed more lime. Let's see, will it let me put lime here? Yep, it'll still let me put lime on my sugarcane field. Yeah, no, part of that is that uh, each time you harvest, the pH value of the crop goes down. And I think once it's at a lower, any level lower than the perfect pH level, it will probably allow you to put more lime on the field, even though you don't have to. Until you get back in the poor range. Or the bad range, really, because poor is still, you're still going to get a great yield out of your crop. I'm just kind of being a bit of a perfectionist, I guess, here, but, well, yeah, I don't know. But if it's still allowing me to put it down, I'll put it down. Because more yield is always better than less yield, wouldn't you think? Although I guess part of the purpose, or one of the purposes of precision farming, though, is so that you save money, but also you use less product, which has less of a negative impact on the environment. But in the real world, that would also depend on what type of, whether you're using chemical or organic materials for your fertilizing too. Because technically lime is an organic product, so it shouldn't really matter as much about per se having a negative impact on the environment. Definitely no problem putting down as much lime as I need to in order to get the best yield results from my crops. No problem at all. Because in a perfect world, we want to both maximize our yield potential, and maximize our environmental bonus scores that we get. Because that has an impact on our sale prices as well when we get around to selling our crops. Alright. So let me lime that field as well. Doesn't look like it changed the graphic that much. I did a little bit. There's definitely something going on there. Yeah, I see a little streak in here. It looks like I missed an area, so I wonder if I go down here and see what we're talking about there. Yeah, see it. There it is. Definitely something there. All right. So. And this field right here shouldn't need lime, but it was letting me spray lime on it as well. So literally just put this one down. But it says pH perfect, but nitrogen bad, even though when I planted, I used a planter that put down seed and solid fertilizer at the same time. So that's just very, confusing. So it looks like it is a better process with precision farming to just use a seeder that just seeds instead of one that does seed and fertilizer at the same time, because it doesn't look like the game does a great job of accounting for that. Alright, so it looks like we just need to put some lime on 55, and then I think we'll be done with lime, and then we'll come back and grab the solid fertilizer, make sure our fields that need to be topped off with solid fertilizer are done, and then we can move on to the next day and get this thing moving along here, because we've got like a lot of months to go that we need to kind of move through a lot faster if we want to get to an episode where we can have our baby horses. So next stop is field 55. And we just will put a little bit of lime down on there, and then we'll switch to solid fertilizer, make sure our fields are maxed out on solid fertilizer, and then we should be good to go. All right, turn it on. And again, I realize this application is probably unnecessary, but I just want them to kind of sort of stay in the perfect range. I don't think this step is absolutely necessary, but it's just kind of something in my brain right now. Alright, we just need to kind of paint the edges of the field and we'll be good to go. Alright, there it is. Alright, so we're done with our lime. Next up is, whoops. We needed to do that is our solid fertilizer. That should be targeting. That should be targeting. That should have been targeting. Alright, so now we need to place down fertilizer. And according to my information, this should be fields 47, 48, 53, and 42 that need it. And let's go take a look and see if that matches up. So we come here. Nothing doing here. So 47, 48 is our combined grass fields. Let's see if it'll let me drop any solid fertilizer on that field. Alright, so here we go. Nope, nothing here either. And if we hop out and check everything's perfect. Let's see about our other problem child that always seems to have issues. Field 40. and it shows, no, it's showing perfect and perfect right now as well. So I probably don't need to do anything here either. Just for amusement purposes, let's see if it'll, and it still allows me to dust. Okay, it stopped right there. Oh, it's still dusting. Oh. Okay, nothing doing. What about this field? Nothing doing. And let's see what it says. Perfect, perfect. And here. Okay, this field still needs fertilizer, so and this is 42. Alright, and we come around the bottom and make one more pass. Alright, solid stuff. And again, this field right here was showing as poor nitrogen as well, but it's not letting me put any solid fertilizer down. But this nitrogen shows is bad. That makes no sense. If it's bad, I should be able to put it down. Okay. And let's see, the other field I had in my notes that needed fertilizer was 53, so let's take a look at 53. I'm going to take a little bit of a shortcut this time to get to 53. That's it. There we go. And it's not letting me drop anything on 53 either. Okay, so I guess we're done now. Alright, so we're gonna pack it up. Let's move on to the next month. We've done everything that we can do today, so let's get everything moving on. Not gonna let this mess me up too much. Guess the other thing that we do want to check on, though, is our weed situation on these fields. Alright, so unload, unload, and unload. Alright, and tractor parked and closed gate. Okay, what the? Okay. Grab our little TLX 3500. Grab refill tipper. Grab our lime and a solid fertilizer and place it back in the silos. Back that up and unload our lime. And we'll pick up our solid fertilizer and do the same, except we're dropping all of that off into our fertilizer silo. Solid fertilizer, and we're going to dump that into our solid fertilizer silo. concludes our operations for today. We'll just swing TLX back around, 3500 back around, and get it parked. Good to go. Just wanted to take a peek at our crop filters, and we're going to go over to weed and just take a peek at that to make sure we're not missing anything as far as that's concerned. Alright. All the fields look good there. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and move on to the next day. Let's go. Sleep. Alright, day 1 in June. Before we get started, I just want to take a quick look at our market. Let's see what products can be sold in June at the best price. Crops are all going to different production chains now. We got 16,000 liters of corn. And make sure we move some of that over to our newly purchased cereal production chain, and that we have everything we need there. We did get into the sugar cereal production business last episode. And what else do we have this big in June? Planks, we don't have any plank production. And solid fertilizer we keep for the farm, manure, slurry, same deal. Same for lime. Although lime can be sold in June for a great price if we need to. We use an herbicide on the farm, so that has a good price in June, and that's pretty much it. All these other goods are goods that we can produce that are as a result of different mods I have installed, but I don't have any of the production chains for any of these products installed on the map right now. So but you can scroll through those and see some of the additional products that do come up as a result of different production chains that I could install on the map with certain mods. Alright, so let's get started. Just to kind of switch things up, we're going to go ahead and jump over here first. We know that we're not ready to harvest any crops yet, so I'm going to have to buy straw this month. Go ahead and blow the only bale of straw that I do have in the blower. This means we're going to have to go buy at least a few bales of straw right now in order to finish what we need to do for this current month. And what I'll do is I'll lease one trailer, and we'll purchase one trailer load of straw. And we'll go ahead and do that now. And we'll go to the shop and go purchase and pick that up now. And that'll just be for this month. And hopefully we won't have to do that too many more times before we'll have produced our own straw from our fields. And then we won't have to do it again anytime in the future. And just looking at this tractor, I haven't done maintenance on this tractor in a while too, so I need to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to keep that in mind as well. Okay, so we're at the shop, and here's what we want to do this time. We're going to go to the menu, set the buy menu, and we're looking for bales, and we want to go to straw. And let's do 180. Let's see. I never worked with the 180s before. I always worked with the 125s, which are literally itty bitties. Alright, first, before we do that, let's do the trailer first. Because this will be something I never done before because I never worked with the 180s. Alright, so first we go to my favorite trailer. So, and where we at? Bale loaders. And one of my favorite modded trailers I like to use is the PGRAT trailers. And these are Lizard Platform trailers, part of the Lizard Platform trailers mod pack. And it says it will do 125 to 180 centimeter bales. We want to make sure we have automatic bale loading turned on. And we're going to lease that trailer. Then we're going to go back to the bales and let's see if what it says is true. Because it says it will do 180 centimeter bales. We're about to find out because I'm going to lease a group of 8 of them for $9,000. And let's see if the trailer does as it says it does as far as that size of bale. Alright, operating position. And it literally says the bale is not supported. But when you look in the menu, it says that it is. That's very upsetting. Because if we go back in there, bale loaders. Arg, that's frustrating. 125 to 180 centimeter bales. That's crap. That is straight crap. Alright. So let's return. Okay. No, sir. Alright. Alright. Lease items. Return that son of a gun. Alright. Well, I don't know. Well, we obviously can't even trust what the menu says that a product is supposed to do. Alright. DPU. Well, you say you do 180 centimeter bales. Let's find out if that's true. Let's lease you. Don't know if what you see is what you get. Because even if it says it does. The shop menu. It's stupid annoying. Alright, this one works. Okay. So that's a mistake with the mod. Alright, transporting position. And I'm only going to do this one load of 180s because hopefully we want to use bales from the shop too many different times. But it's super annoying when you look at the information on a device in the shop and it says it does certain things within the game that's not true. either case, we got them on a trailer, and we're bringing them back to the farm, and we'll load these bales of straw into the straw blower so that we can provide straw for the animals. And this is probably where we're going to end up tonight. And what I was saying, what I still may do is we may kind of rotate. I may rotate through some of the stuff with this farm off camera so that we can get to a point where you can see some of the things that I do want to get to on camera. So I may work a few things off camera, but if I do decide to do that, I'll let you know when we come back in on the next episode where we're on camera what I did off camera, so we can be up to speed and we can get to certain points in these processes that I want you to see on the farm, especially as it relates to I want to get to the point where we see at least one generation of our horses being born. I would just bring this up here because it's not just being a little too nitpicky and a little bit technical here. Alright, move. There it is. Little bills here. Boom. That's good for what I got going right now. And we grab my little telehandler. And we'll just pick these bad boys up, a couple of these bad boys up, drop them in the blower, and keep things on moving. Not gonna be too fancy or too technical tonight. Ooh. We can drop 2 of these in here, maybe. It's gonna be a little tricky because they don't just like plop right down in there all nice and neat like the other little bells do. Alright, that's got one. Get a second one in there, maybe. Alright, we got one there. Let's see if we can get a whole 2 in there, or at least kind of sort of in there. Oops, I'll back it up. There we go. Take it. I'd like to get it a little bit neater looking if I can. There we go. 2's gonna be the magic number. Alright, so disconnect the trailer. And let's get back to work. Load them up 2 at a time and see how we do with there. Okay, why am I not getting this? Okay. Like it didn't trigger it, and it was acting like it didn't want to pop. Okay, straw for cows is good. And now straw for the pigs. It's good. And both bales are still alive and kicking. So that's good stuff there. So we just need to do a quick load of pig feed. Alright, pigs are good. And we top off the pig food trailer. And another production we'll probably look at adding on this farm before the series is over as well is a pig food production, because I think the goal we want to have at the farm before we finish the series is to be 100% self-sufficient, self-sustained farm. And one thing I also want to check on the the pigs before we move on as well, is to check the age of my pigs. Sell them at 10 months. I can always tell when they're getting close to maturity by how much pig food they eat. And if it's starting to consume more pig food, so that much means they're pretty close to maturity. So we'll stop and check that for real quick. Yep, and just like I thought, it's time to sell pigs, so we'll go ahead and do that as well. Open animal dialog. And do it this way. Oh, that's right. Anyway, how do I think it is from the other menu? What am I? Having a brain malfunction here. Where I thought we did it from one of these menus. Oh, yeah, there we go. Having a brain malfunction there. Alright, so 60 Berkshires that we can sell that are 10 months old. I'm going to go ahead and sell them. Yep. And we have 61 months old. Then we still have 30 10 months that we can sell. So sell them. And so now we should have, what, we got 90 of 1 month old piglets, and those are the ones we want to keep. Alright, so we got that taken care of. Alright, and let's work on our cow feed. Grab one straw bale. Whoop. Come on, buddy, work with me. I guess not used to navigating with such large size bales. Oh, and I timed it perfectly, didn't I? Just in time to see the TMR mixer in action. Yep, we're at the top of the hour. The robot feeder automatically feeds the cows at the top of every hour. See it here. It's 9:01 and the TMR mixer is grabbing all the elements for the TMR mix. The straw, the hay, and the silage. And once it grabs all the elements, the robot feeder will then automatically go out and feed the TMR mix to the cows. Alright, gates up, robots out. Yeah. That straw's right at 59,000. So that's close enough. So we won't throw another bell on there, not necessary. And let's go grab a bale or two of hay. Just throw 2 at a time on there. We just need to top it off. We don't need to max it out. So we'll just throw 2 on there. Drop those off. It should take them both. And let's see what number that puts us at on the hay. 95 out of 100,000. That's good enough. We'll do 2 silage and call it a day. And this will keep things moving and crisp. Alright, drop 2 silage bales off and just take a peek. See what that puts us at. Silage can go up to 120,000. That's 108,000. That's good. Alright, so we're going to park the front loader. We're done here. For the moment at least. And let's move on to our TLX. Go grab some barley with chicken feed. Holy moly. I lost track of the time. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Did not realize that we were doing overtime. Well, we reached the end of the screen tonight. In fact, we're doing overtime. I want to thank y'all for tuning in. As always, you can follow me on all the major social media platforms. I'm Jose831 Gaming on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, and Google, and all the major social media platforms. And like I always say, if you don't have fun doing what you do, then what are you doing? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This is Bose831 Gaming live on Twitch. And I will catch you on the flip side. And again, as I indicated earlier, next episode we'll be picking up from where we left off, or I do some things off camera, and I'll let you know what we did as soon as we start the episode, if necessary, to catch you up to speed. But at the least, I'll go ahead and finish farm operations for today, and horse riding and all of that stuff. And we'll either start in the month of June or we'll be in the month of July. But either way, I'll give you the heads up when we start the next episode. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you for your support, and have a great night, everyone.